He was a great brother and was very proud of the job we are all doing. Thank you. We love you, Robert. Let us also take a moment to show our
There's the
profound
bus.
appreciation.
Hang on a second, guys.
for a
There's the
man who has
bus.
always fought
I told
by our
you.
side.
I told you they're going to take buses.
Is a man of deep faith and steadfast conviction, our Vice President Mike Pence.
The white people are in the back of the bus. The black
Mike
people are in the
is joined
front.
by his beloved wife, a teacher, and military mom, Karen Pence. Thank you, Karen. My fellow Americans, tonight, with a heart full of gratitude and boundless optimism, I profoundly accept this nomination for President of the United States. The Republican Party, the party of Abraham Lincoln, goes forward united, determined, and ready to welcome millions of Democrats, independents, and anyone who believes in the greatness of America and the righteous heart of the American people. In a new term as president, we will again build the greatest economy in history, quickly returning to full employment, soaring incomes, and record prosperity. We will defend America against all threats and protect America against all dangers. We will lead America into new frontiers of ambition and discovery, and we will reach for new heights of national achievement. We will rekindle new faith in our values, new pride in our history, and a new spirit of unity that can only be realized through love for our great country. Because we understand that America is not a land cloaked in darkness. America is the torch that enlightens the entire world. Gathered here at our beautiful and majestic White House, known all over the world as the People's House, we cannot help but marvel at the miracle that is our great American story. This has been the home of larger-than-life figures like Teddy Roosevelt and Andrew Jackson, who rallied Americans to bold visions of a bigger and brighter future. Within these walls lived tenacious generals like President Grant and Eisenhower, who led our soldiers in the cause of freedom. From these grounds, Thomas Jefferson sent Lewis and Clark on a daring expedition to cross a wild and uncharted continent. In the depths of a bloody civil war, President Abraham Lincoln looked out these very windows upon a half-completed Washington Monument and asked God, in his providence, to save our nation. 2 weeks after Pearl Harbor, Franklin Delano Roosevelt welcomed Winston Churchill, and just inside, they set our people on a course to victory in the Second World War. In recent months, our nation and the entire planet has been struck by a new and powerful, invisible enemy. Like those brave Americans before us, we are meeting this challenge. We are delivering life-saving therapies and will produce a vaccine before the end of the year, or maybe even sooner. We will defeat the virus, end the pandemic, and emerge stronger than ever before. What united generations past was an unshakable confidence in America's destiny and an unbreakable faith in the American people. They knew that our country is blessed by God and has a special purpose in this world. It is that conviction that inspired the formation of our union, our westward expansion, the abolition of slavery, the passage of civil rights, the space program, and the overthrow of fascism, tyranny, and communism. This towering American spirit has prevailed over every challenge and lifted us to the summit of human endeavor. And yet, despite all of our greatness as a nation, everything we have achieved is now in danger. This is the most important election in the history of our country. Thank you. At no time before have voters faced a clearer choice between two parties, two visions, two philosophies, or two agendas. This election will decide whether we save the American dream or whether we allow a socialist agenda to demolish our cherished destiny. It will decide whether we rapidly create millions of high-paying jobs or whether we crush our industries and send millions of these jobs overseas, as has foolishly been done for many decades. Your vote will decide whether we protect law-abiding Americans or whether we give free rein to violent anarchists and agitators and criminals who threaten our citizens.
I think our vote's going to decide.
This election will decide whether we will
get 4 more
defend the
years
American way of life or
Let's
whether
just
we
be
will
honest,
allow
you've already
a
been
radical
president. What can you
movement
change?
to completely dismantle and destroy it. That won't happen. At the Democrat National Convention, Joe Biden and his party repeatedly assailed America as a land of racial, economic, and social injustice. So tonight I ask you a simple question.
And he was
How
right,
can the
sir.
Democrat
He was
Party
right.
ask to lead
Facts.
our country when it spends so much time tearing down our country?
How can you lead it when you've tore it down? Let's ask that. They're so patriotic.
In the left's backward view, they do not see America as the most free, just, and exceptional nation on earth. Instead, they see a wicked nation that must be punished for its sins. Our opponents say that redemption for you can only come from giving power to them. This is a tired anthem spoken by every repressive movement throughout history. But in this country, we don't look to career politicians for salvation.
Yo, that's
In
exactly
America,
what
we
you
don't
said,
turn
dude.
to government.
I alone
restore
can
our
help us.
souls.
I alone
we
can
put
save
our
us.
faith in Almighty God.
That's some crap. It's junk.
But to be honest, though, that's his base. That's what they like.
Joe Biden is not a
How can we be
savior
mad at him
of
for like
America's
rallying his
soul.
base? That's
He is the
what they want to hear.
destroyer of
Him alone can
America's
save them.
jobs.
That's what they believe.
And if given the
I
chance,
mean, even
he
this
will
guy
be the destroyer
thinks that
of American greatness.
people who are in this protest are
47
dancing in
years,
support of
Joe
this.
Biden
Wait,
but,
what did you
know,
say?
took the
What did you say it was
donations
people
of
in this what?
blue-collar workers,
Protest.
gave them hugs
A
and even
protest.
kisses.
How could that possibly be in support?
It's a
That's tough. That's tough. That's tough to answer.
riots in the streets of Washington D.C.
They're just so happy. They're just, you know how people get. They get excited,
And told them
start
he
turning
felt
over
the
cars.
We're not gonna mess with that audio. I know that much. I know that's a copywritten song. I got it within 20 seconds, but Danger, like, here we are again. Well, I stopped. I didn't want to deal with the audio.
Foreign wars.
I did for a second, but it's back now.
As career politicians let other countries take advantage of us on trade, borders, foreign policy, and national defense. Our NATO partners, as an example, were very far behind in their defense payments. But at my strong urging, they agreed to pay $130 billion more a year, the first time in over 20 years that they upped their payments. Secretary General
What do you need?
Stoltenberg, who heads NATO, was amazed after watching for so many years and said that President Trump did what no one else was able to do. Thank you. From the moment I left my former life, of Washington politics, I kept my promise. Together, we have ended the rule of the failed political class, and they are desperate to get their power back by any means necessary. You've seen that. They are angry at me because instead of putting them first, I very simply said, America first. Thank you. Days after taking office, we shocked the Washington establishment and withdrew from the last administration's job-killing Trans-Pacific Partnership. I then immediately approved the Keystone XL. Country blind, but I kept my word to the American people. We took the toughest, boldest, strongest, and hardest hitting action against China in American history by far. They said that it would be impossible to terminate and replace NAFTA. But again, they were wrong. Earlier this year, I ended the NAFTA nightmare and signed the brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement into law. And right now, auto companies and others are building their plants and factories in America, not firing their employees, and not deserting us for other countries. In perhaps no area did the Washington special interests try harder to stop us than on my policy of pro-American immigration. But I refuse to back down, and today America's borders are more secure than ever before. Asylum fraud, took down human traffickers who prey on women and children, and we have deported 20,000 gang members and 500,000 criminal aliens. We have already built 300 miles of border wall, and we are adding 10 new miles every single week. The wall will soon be complete, and it is working beyond our wildest expectations. Brave people.
You about to save the whole country from coronavirus, but you still ain't practicing social distancing.
Law enforcement. They do. They do. They really do. Love and respect. When I learned that the Tennessee Valley Authority laid off hundreds of American workers and forced them to train their lower-paid foreign replacement, I promptly removed the chairman of the board. And now those talented American workers have been rehired and are back providing power to Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, North Carolina, and Virginia. They have their old jobs back, and some are here with us this evening. Please stand. You went through a lot. Please stand. Thank you. Thank you very much. You've been through a lot.
Yo!
Thank you very much.
Like, wow.
Last month, I took on Big Pharma.
Wow. Man.
You think that's easy? It's not. And signed orders that will massively lower the cost of your prescription drugs and give critically ill patients access to life-saving cures.
You see, boy.
We
Boy say that
passed
toupee
the
flopping.
decades-long-awaited right to try.
Oh,
Right
bulls.
to try.
Oh, bulls. Where you at?
We also passed VA accountability and VA choice. Our great veterans, we're taking care of our veterans. 91% approval rating this month, the VA, given by our veterans. First time anything like that's ever happened. By the end of my first term, we will have approved more than 300 federal judges, including 2 great new Supreme Court justices.
Oh, my God.
Just standing right next to each
And to
other.
bring prosperity to our
There is
forgotten inner
not a
cities,
6.
we worked hard to pass historic criminal justice reform. prison reform, opportunity zones, and long-term
Rally your
funding of
base.
historically
That's
black
very
colleges and universities.
No
And
mask in
before the
sight.
China virus
Yep,
came in,
that's what I said.
produced the best unemployment numbers for
I'm shocked,
African Americans,
to be quite
Hispanic
frank.
Americans, and Asian Americans ever recorded.
What? This dude and these lies. Man. They got
And I say
99
very
problems, but
modestly that I have
coronavirus
done
ain't
more
one.
for the African American community than any president
Uh-oh.
since Abraham
Whoa,
Lincoln,
whoa,
our first
whoa.
Republican president.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey, Charles, real quick, how does Black News Tonight feel about that statement?
Lies.
And I have done more in 3 years for the black community than Joe Biden has done in 47 years.
Oh my! Where's these numbers, these statistics, and these facts at? I have done more in 3
When I'm
years for the
reelected,
black
best is yet to
community.
come.
No, give Israel Houghton, the black community, some royalties for them lyrics you keep stealing with that line. The best is yet to come. You've been in office for 4 years. I don't hate you. I don't dislike you, but come on. Drain the swamp. Drain the swamp. Drain the swamp.
I can't
Drain
breathe.
the swamp.
I can't breathe.
I can't breathe. Say their names. Where is y'all mask?
Wear your mask. Where's your
Wear
mask?
your mask. So like tomorrow, we'll get these reports because we've had protesters and we got these dodos.
When I took office,
We're gonna have
the Middle
so
East
many
was
new
in
cases of
total
coronavirus
chaos.
after he just promises that it was
ISIS
over.
was rampaging.
Charles just called them
Iran
dodos.
was on the rise.
Oh,
And the war in
I
Afghanistan
like it.
had no end in sight.
I like it.
I withdrew from the terrible
I mean, it
one-sided
just be crazy
Iran
though,
nuclear deal.
Y'all be like, we about to do something different. We're
Unlike
gonna,
many presidents before me,
have a vaccine
kept
out by
my
the end of the
promise.
year.
recognized Israel's true
I don't want that
capital
vaccine
and
in my
moved our
body.
embassy to Jerusalem.
I'm good. Yeesh. And don't say I ain't asking none of y'all people to come on here and talk about this man with me, because I did ask for some people.
But not
on
only
his
did we
side.
talk about it as a future site, we got it built. Rather than spending $1 billion on a new building as planned, we took an already owned existing building in a better location. Real estate deal, right? And opened it at a cost of less than $500,000. Many things like that government is doing right now. We also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. And this month we achieved the first Middle East peace deal in 25 years. Thank you to UAE. Thank you to Israel.
At best, it's misleading and lacks context. At
In
best.
addition, we obliterated 100% of the ISIS caliphate and killed its founder and leader, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi.
How long did it take him to get that enunciation
Then in a
out?
separate operation, we eliminated the world's #1 terrorist by far, Qasem Soleimani.
I said he worked that one out in the mirror, I bet, for a couple of hours.
Unlike previous administrations, I have kept America out of new wars, and our troops are coming home. We have spent nearly $2.5 trillion on completely rebuilding our military, which was very badly depleted when I took office, as you know. This includes 3 separate pay raises for for our great warriors. We also launched the Space Force, the first new branch of the United States military since the Air Force was created
Did he
almost
say he
75
launched the Space Force?
years
Yo.
ago.
He
We
did.
have spent the last 4 years.
Bro, you're my friend.
reversing
You're
the
incredible,
damage
dude. You're
Joe
like
Biden
Jesus up in
inflicted
the
over the
building. You
last
launching
47
NASA
years.
and you.
Biden's record is a shameful roll call of the most catastrophic betrayals and blunders in our lifetime.
I like that
He has
word you
spent
put together.
his entire
Catastrophic
career on the wrong
fails
side
and
of
blunders
history.
in our lifetime.
Biden voted for the NAFTA disaster, the single worst trade deal ever enacted.
Factual and actual
Supported
President
China's
Trump, I'll give you
entry
that.
into the World Trade Organization, one of the greatest economic disasters of all time. After those Biden calamities, the United States lost 1 in 4 manufacturing jobs. We laid off workers in Michigan, Ohio, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, and many other states. They didn't want to hear Biden's hollow words of empathy. They wanted their jobs back. As vice president, he supported the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which would have been a death sentence for the U.S. auto industry. He backed the horrendous South Korea trade deal, which took many jobs from our country and which I've reversed and made a great deal for our country. He repeatedly supported mass amnesty.
So you
for
run them
illegal
jobs back
immigrants.
though?
He voted for the Iraq
They here?
War. He opposed the mission to take out Osama
We bringing up
bin
the
Laden.
Iraq War in
He
2020?
opposed killing Soleimani. He
The
oversaw
Iraq
the
War was
rise
the
of
Republican
ISIS
war.
and cheered the
Like,
rise of China
hold
as
on
a
now.
positive development for America and
Let's
the world.
not
Some
forget.
positive development.
Yo party.
That's why China
It's true, but
supports
Biden
Joe
did vote
Biden
for
and
it.
desperately wants him
I
to
mean,
win.
he
I can
voted
tell you
for it, but
that
he didn't
upon very good
initiate the war,
information.
though.
No, and he said a couple years later it was like the worst
China
mistake he'd
would
ever
own
made.
our country.
Yeah, that's fine,
Joe
but I'm just
Biden
saying,
got
like, come on,
elected.
let's remember weapons of mass destruction.
Unlike
But
Biden, I will
when I say
hold
that, like,
them
I would do
fully
anything to get me a
accountable
little
for the
bit
tragedy that they
of
caused
George
all
Bush
over the
right now.
world, they caused.
I'd do
It's
anything
true.
to get me.
In recent months, our
Baby, I
nation
would
in the
vote
world
if there was a George
has been
Bush
hit
on the
by
ticket
the
right now. I would vote for him with
once-in-a-century
flying colors,
pandemic
Republican
that
all.
China allowed to spread around
I'm cool
the
with it.
globe. They
I'm
could
cool
have
with it.
stopped it, but they allowed it to come out. We are grateful to be joined tonight by several of our incredible nurses and first
Did this
responders.
cameraman mess up
Please
too?
stand and accept our profound thanks and gratitude.
So you brought nurses and first responders to your non-social distancing party, which now
Everyone's infected.
everyone's infected. Like, I'll be
You get coronavirus, and you get coronavirus.
coronavirus. Everybody
Many
gets
Americans,
coronavirus.
including me, have sadly lost friends and cherished loved ones to this horrible disease. As one nation, we
You
mourn, we
literally are
grieve,
sitting there
and we
with
hold in our hearts
this
forever the memories
like
of all
social
of those
distancing
lives
party.
that have been so
Oh,
tragically
which,
taken, so unnecessary. In their honor, we will unite. In their memory, we will overcome. And when the China virus hit, we
I am
launched
so
the
sick of hearing you
largest
say
national
China virus.
mobilization since World War II. Invoking the Defense Production Act, we produced
let
the
the
world's
states take care of
largest
the
supply of
states.
ventilators. Not a single American who has needed a ventilator has been denied a ventilator, which is a
What?
miracle.
Okay, that's a fun one that I'm going to take a look into a little later.
Yeah, let's take a look into that
Good
now.
job.
Stop all what you're doing and
Heading the
find
task
out.
force by our
No, I got
Vice
the.
President.
I have the
Thank you very
transcript
much.
of what he's saying right now. I want to make sure I get the quote right.
Okay. Boys, did you watching us? If you were his, can you?
I know he wants to weigh in on that.
I mean, come on, Bulls. Like, can we get a
We
weigh-in
shipped
on
hundreds of millions of masks, gloves, and gowns to our frontline healthcare workers.
that? What?
To protect our nation's seniors, we rushed supplies, testing kits, and personal to nursing homes. We gave everything you can possibly give, and we're still giving it because we're taking care of our senior citizens. The Army Corps of Engineers built field hospitals, and the Navy deployed our great hospital ships. We developed from scratch the largest and most advanced testing system anywhere in the world. America has tested more than every country in Europe put together, and more than every nation in the Western Hemisphere combined. Think of that. We have conducted 40 million more tests than the next closest nation, which is India. We developed a wide array of effective treatments, including a powerful antibody treatment known as convalescent plasma. You saw that on Sunday night when we announced it, that will save thousands and thousands of lives. Thanks to advances, we have pioneered
Here we go again.
fatality rate.
Yet
And you look at it and you look at the numbers, it has been reduced by 80% since
Say it.
April.
It's snake oil.
80%.
Dude, that's like,
The United States has among the lowest case
It's snake
fatality
oil, bro.
rates of any major country anywhere in the world. The European Union's case fatality rate
Wait,
is
what did
nearly
he just
3
say?
times higher than ours, but you don't hear that. They don't write about
no,
that.
because
They
it's
don't
not
wanna write about
true,
that. They don't want you
yo.
to know
Like,
those
no,
things.
it's just falsities.
Altogether,
like, it's
the
all
nations
falsities.
of Europe
This dude.
have experienced
Mute
a
my mic, Danger.
30%
Please mute
greater
my mic.
increase in excess mortality than the United States. Think of that. We enacted the largest package of financial relief in American history. Thanks to our Paycheck Protection Program, we have saved or supported more than 50 million American jobs. That's one of the reasons that we're advancing so rapidly with our economy. Great job. As a result, we have seen the smallest economic contraction of any major Western nation, and we are recovering at a much faster rate than anybody. Over the past 3 months, we have gained over 9 million jobs, and that's a record in the history of our country. Unfortunately,
because
from
of
the
how many we
beginning, our
lost.
opponents have shown themselves capable of nothing but a partisan ability to criticize.
You know, they
When I
take
took
lemons
bold action
and
to
they make
issue
some
a
good
travel
old
ban on
lemonade
China
with them lemons.
very
like,
early indeed,
they're good at
Joe
that there.
Biden called it hysterical and xenophobic. And then I introduced a ban on Europe very early again. If we had listened to Joe, hundreds of thousands more Americans would have died.
Wrong.
Instead
We
of
did it
following
same time
the
as
science,
36 other
Joe
countries.
Biden wants to
36
inflict
other
a
countries.
full
You.
shutdown on the
We
entire
listen to
country.
you, bro.
His shutdown would inflict unthinkable
Like,
and lasting harm
Joe wasn't leading the
on our
world with
nation's
coronavirus.
children,
You were like,
families, and
you were the
citizens of all
president.
backgrounds.
You, sir, are the
cost
president.
of the
You,
Biden
sir,
shutdown
made the
would be
decision.
measured
You,
in
sir,
increased drug
can't blame
overdoses,
Biden for
depression,
coronavirus. You, sir,
alcohol addiction,
you, sir, did it. You, sir, did
heart
it. Not
attacks,
Biden. You, sir,
economic
did it.
devastation,
some
Disassembled all the
responsibility.
pandemics.
and much more. Joe Biden's plan is not a solution to the virus, but rather it's a surrender to the virus.
You still don't have a federal plan in place.
My administration has a very different approach.
Oh,
To
God,
save
what is
as
it?
many
What is it? I'm
lives
waiting
as
for it. I'm
possible,
waiting
we
for
are
it. Please give it
focusing
to
on
us
the
now.
science, the facts,
We've
and the
been waiting
data.
for a long time.
We are aggressively sheltering those at highest risk, especially the elderly, while allowing lower risk Americans to safely return to work and to school. And we want to see so many of those great states be opened by Democrats. We want them to be open. They have to be open. They have to get back to work.
Yeah, they got to make you guys money.
They have to get back to work, and they have to get back to school. Most importantly, we are marshaling America's scientific genius to produce a vaccine in record time. Under Operation Warp Speed, we have 3 different vaccines in the final stage of trials. Right now, years ahead of what has been achieved before. Nobody thought it could ever be done this fast.
That pretty
Normally
much
it would be
sums it up,
years,
don't
and
it?
We did it in a matter of
Yeah.
a few months. We're producing them in advance so that hundreds of millions of doses will be quickly available. We will have a safe and effective vaccine this year, and together we will crush the virus.
Sure, I summoned the giant bug, but I'm also wearing the giant
At the
boot.
Democrat convention, you barely heard a word about their agenda. But that's not because they don't have one. It's because their agenda is the most extreme set of proposals ever put forward by a major party nominee. Joe Biden may claim he is an ally of the light, but when it comes to his agenda, Biden wants to keep us completely in the dark.
Then tell us.
He doesn't have a clue. He has pledged a $4 trillion tax hike on almost all American families, which will totally collapse our rapidly improving economy. And once again, record stock markets that we have right now will also collapse.
I like that this dude looked at all his friends and he's like, hey, everybody's doing really good. The economy's
On the other
great.
hand, just as I did in my first term, I will cut taxes even further for hardworking moms and dads. I will not raise taxes. I will cut them, and very substantially.
Running a country takes money.
And we will also provide tax credits to bring jobs out of China back to America. And we will impose tariffs on any
Man, he
company
talk about
that
China
leaves
like China
America
is
to
Russia
produce
or
jobs
something, like-
overseas.
Oh, you won't talk about Russia.
No, you can't talk about his boyfriend.
We will make
Heck
sure our
no.
companies and jobs stay in
Can't
our
talk about
country,
Russia.
as I've already been doing for quite some time, if you've noticed.
Yo, like I'm so
Joe
baffled by
Biden's
how many
agenda
people are here.
is made in
Blows
China.
my mind.
My agenda is made
He
in the
telling us about his
USA.
coronavirus strategy.
His argument was the Democrats ain't got one. They don't have one at all. Or they do, and they won't tell us what it is. I have one. Trust me. That's it. That's the end.
Made in the
Biden promised
USA.
to abolish the production of American oil, coal, shale, and natural gas, laying waste to the economies of Pennsylvania, Ohio, Texas, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Colorado, and New Mexico, destroying those states, absolutely destroying those states and others. Millions of jobs will be lost, and energy prices will soar. These same policies led to crippling power outages in California just last week. Everybody saw that.
Could be
Tremendous
because it's on
power
fire.
outage. Nobody's seen anything like it, but we saw that last week in California. How can Joe Biden claim to be an ally of the light when his own party can't even keep the lights on?
That was a pretty good line. That was a pretty good line.
Pretty good
Joe
line,
Biden's
though.
campaign has even published a 110-page policy platform. You can't get away from this. Co-authored with far-left Senator Crazy Bernie Sanders. The Biden-Bernie manifesto calls for suspending all removals of illegal aliens, implementing nationwide catch and release, and providing illegal aliens with free taxpayer-funded lawyers. Everybody gets a lawyer. Come on over to our country. Everybody has a lawyer. We have a lawyer for you. That's what we need is more lawyers.
Didn't he just like do like? Aren't you contradicting your
Joe Biden recently
land of
raised his
promise
hand
where you had all the immigrants
on the debate
like,
stage and promised
they're
your
being naturalized?
giveaway. He
saying.
was going to give it away,
That is the
your
one
health
we
care
watched.
dollars to illegal immigrants, which is going to bring massive number of immigrants into our country.
Okay,
Massive
go to
numbers.
bed, Joseph. Oh, Lord.
Nice. That was a nice cut.
That was a nice cut.
Protect criminal aliens.
And we're back.
He promised to end national security travel bans from jihadist nations, and he pledged to increase refugee admissions by 700%.
And what do you plan to do? Come on, tell us right now.
The Biden plan would eliminate America's borders
How does
in the
this
middle of a global
look? Jacquees,
pandemic. He's even talking about taking the wall down.
I don't think we can say that.
we can't, but you said it for us.
Yep, I didn't say
Biden
nothing.
also vowed to oppose school choice and close
I
all
would just leave it
charter
up there
schools,
too.
ripping away
You
the
saw him
ladder
try
of
to drink some
opportunity
water.
for
I'm
Black
surprised,
and
too.
Hispanic children. In a second term, I will expand charter schools and provide school choice to every family in America.
No, none of them. Oh, look, that guy's got one. Nope, he took it off.
Oh, he couldn't be in the camera with the mask
And we
on.
will
No,
always
no.
treat our teachers with the tremendous respect that
Oh,
they
man.
deserve.
Yeah, but don't pay him.
Great people.
But don't pay him.
Great people.
No, make them go
Joe
home
Biden
and give
claims
coronavirus
he
to
has
their
empathy
children.
For
Right.
the vulnerable.
You know, whether
Yet party
the
he
teachers don't
leads
have two options,
supports
whether
the
they go to
extreme
school or not.
late-term abortion of defenseless babies right up until the moment of birth.
That is
Democrat
not
leaders talk
true.
about moral
Like,
decency,
I'm sorry,
But
that's
they have
a
no
falsity.
problem with stopping a baby's beating heart in the 9th month of pregnancy.
You literally,
Democrat politicians refuse to protect innocent life, and then they lecture us about morality and saving America's soul. Tonight, we proudly declare that
that
all
flip didn't
children
even sit
born and
well with his
unborn
own spirit.
have a God-given right to life.
All of them? What about the ones that are trying to get in your country right now that you put in cages? What about them?
Let's talk about the children in cages right now. Because
They got a right to
y'all-
life, but they got a right to life in cages.
no, it's
During
just
the Democrat
the only thing they want to talk
convention,
about is the
words
abortion.
under
They don't want
God
to talk about after the abortion. What
were
about who's going to
removed
take care of
from
that
the
child?
Pledge of
Who's
Allegiance.
going to keep that child? Who's going to make sure they're not
Not
getting
once,
gunned
but
down?
twice.
It's just crazy,
We'll never do
how
that.
extreme far left this part, far
But the
right this
fact
party
is,
is.
This
All
is
about
where
abortion.
they're coming
But then when
from.
we talk
Like
about
it or
lives
not,
that's being
it's
just
where they
vanished
come.
in the United States right now,
If
there,
the
no
left
one's saying
gains
nothing about
power,
that.
they will demolish the
Yup.
suburbs,
The-
confiscate your guns, and appoint justices who will wipe
Man,
away
he's
your Second
he's
Amendment.
did
and
they
other
take this right out of that
constitutional
white
freedoms.
lady that had the
Biden
guns
is a Trojan
speech?
horse for socialism. If Joe Biden doesn't have the strength to stand up to wild-eyed Marxists like Bernie Sanders and his fellow radicals, and there are many, we see them all the time. It's incredible, actually. Then how is he ever going to stand up for you? He's not. The most dangerous aspect of the Biden platform is the attack on public safety. The Biden-Bernie manifesto calls for abolishing cash bail, immediately releasing 400,000
Did you forget that Harris
criminals
actually
onto
was
the streets and
running
into your neighborhood?
with Biden? I don't know if he forgot
When
that.
asked
but-
if he supports cutting police funding, Joe Biden replied, yes, absolutely. When Congresswoman Ilhan Omar called the Minneapolis Police Department a cancer that is rotten to the root,
It is.
Biden wouldn't disavow her support and reject her endorsement. He proudly displayed it
Thank you.
shortly
Good job, Biden.
later on his website. Displayed it in big letters. Make no mistake, if you give power to Joe Biden, the radical left will defund police departments all across America.
Dog whistle
Pass
politics
federal
right here.
legislation to reduce
Danger. This
law
is straight up
enforcement
dog whistle
nationwide.
politics. This is where he
They will
incites
make every
fear.
city look like Democrat-run Portland,
Yep.
Oregon.
Yep, here we go.
No one
Dog
will
whistle
be safe in
politics.
Biden's America. My administration will always
No
stand
one is safe in Trump's
with the men
America right
and
now,
women
sir.
of law
Let's talk about your America. You ain't out the office yet.
He's talking like he's running against somebody.
Yeah, like
Like he's not the
Every day,
incumbent.
police officers
Like-
risk their lives to keep us
Like he
safe.
forgot.
And every
Like he's
year,
like,
many sacrifices
like
we gotta get this dude out the office.
in the line of duty.
yeah.
One of these incredible Americans was Detective Neostas Familia. She was part of a team of American heroes called the NYPD, or New York's finest.
he
I was
literally-
very proud.
I think the funniest thing
their
about this
endorsement
whole speech
Just the other day,
is
great
that it's
people,
literally
great
from the
people.
White House.
They were allowed to do their job. You'd have no crime in New York. Rudy
It's literally
Giuliani
from the
knows that
White
better
House.
than anybody.
Like
Thank
of
you, Rudy.
America.
If you guys
And
would
like
just let
3
me
years
take the
ago,
wheel,
on
it would be
4th
so
of
much
July
better.
Weekend,
Right. Just let me take the
Amelia was on duty in her vehicle when she was
If
ambushed.
you just give me a
after midnight
chance,
and
I'm
murdered
gonna
by a
I'm
monster
gonna do a better job than
who killed
Biden.
her purely for wearing the badge.
Oh,
Detective Familia was a single mom. She recently asked for the
Sorry.
night shift so she could spend more time with her kids. 2 years ago, I stood in front of the U.S. Capitol alongside those beautiful children and held their grandmother's hand as they mourned their terrible loss. And we honored Detective Familia's extraordinary life. It was extraordinary. Detective Familia's 3 children are with us this evening. Genesis, Peter, Delilah, we are so grateful to have you here tonight. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Did he say how much of that wall he has built?
We didn't talk about the wall. We're talking about Detective Familiar's children. And I don't know. I'm actually a little confused. I'm not sure if their dad
I promise
passed
you
or.
that we will treasure your mom in our memories forever. We must remember that the overwhelming majority of police officers in this country, and that's the overwhelming majority, are noble, courageous, and honorable. We have to give law enforcement, our police, back their power.
What power did they
Afraid
lose?
to act.
They are still currently
They're
murdering
afraid to
people.
lose their pension.
Yeah, they're
They're
gaining. If
afraid to
anything,
lose their jobs.
they're brazen.
And by being afraid, they are not able to do the job that they so desperately want to do for you.
Murder.
And those who suffer most are the great people
They just can't do it no more.
they
Everybody's freaking out.
and who they want to protect.
Because police officers can't murder us legally now. Like, you
When
know,
there is
There's cameras
police
everywhere.
misconduct,
It's hard
the
to murder
justice
people
system
today.
must
they don't
hold
want to be on live stream
fully and
shooting us.
completely accountable, and it
tough.
will.
They need their power to do it in private again.
That's right.
Have a situation
How dare you take that away
where
from them?
things are going
Get
on
rid of TikTok right now.
as they are today. We must never allow mob rule. We can never allow mob rule.
Dog whistle politics. Dog whistle politics.
What about the fact that your entire cabinet is your family? What about mob rule?
Party condemns the rioting, looting, arson, and violence we have seen in Democrat-run cities all.
So Democrats run whole
Minneapolis,
cities now, right?
Portland, Chicago, and New York, and many others. Democrat-run. There is violence
This
and
mother-
danger in the streets of
that
many
dude be
Democrat-run
deflecting
cities
like a
throughout
mug.
America. This problem could easily be fixed if they wanted to.
How?
Just call. We're ready to go in. We'll take care of you.
You already
In a matter of
in.
Hours. Just call.
Just call.
This is exactly what you're talking about.
Just call. I'm
Too
not in
bad
the
we
White
have
House
to-
already.
We have to wait for the call. We must always have law and order. All federal crimes are being investigated, prosecuted, and punished to the fullest extent of the law. When the anarchists started ripping down our statues and monuments, right
Oh my
outside,
God.
I signed an order immediately. 10 years in prison. And it was a miracle. It all stopped. No more statues. They said, that's just too long as they looked at a statue. I think we'll rip it down. Then they said 10 years in prison. I think that's too long.
I think
go
this is
home.
probably the most racist moment you've ever had
During
in your
their
life.
convention, Joe Biden and his supporters remained completely silent about the rioters and criminals spreading mayhem in Democrat-run cities. They never even mentioned it during their entire.
And you never mentioned
Convention.
protesters
Never
one
once
time,
mentioned
like
it.
you mentioned for the
Now
100
they're
years
trying
of
to mention
women's
it
suffrage.
because they've told
They
them
picketed
going
the
down
line so
the rocket
peacefully,
water.
but they forgot to mention that black women didn't have the right to vote after that suffrage
Joe.
yesterday. That's
In the face of left-wing anarchy and mayhem in Minneapolis, Chicago, and other cities, Joe Biden's campaign did not condemn it. They donated to it. At least 13 members of Joe Biden's campaign staff donated to a fund to bail out vandals, arsonists, anarchists.
That's
looters.
really you're reaching, Trump.
Here
You're
tonight is
reaching.
the grieving family.
You're
of
reaching
retired
really hard right
Captain
now.
David Dorn, a 38-year veteran of the St. Louis Police Department, a great man and a highly respected man by all. In June, Captain Dorn was shot and killed as he tried to protect a store from rioters and looters, or as the Democrats would call them, peaceful protesters. They call them peaceful protesters.
This dude is really burning
We're
my
honored to
skin
be
up.
joined tonight
You know what, Danger?
by his wonderful wife, Ann, and beloved
Yeah.
family members, Brian and Kaylin.
It's coming through my machine. I still got to listen to it. That's messed up. You just change the channel. I'm still stuck here with old Don.
Thank you very much.
Sometimes you gotta change the channel. Like you got to, because
As
like
long as I am
I feel you,
president,
but
we
I'm
will
just sitting
defend
here right
the
next to this
absolute
dude.
right of every American citizen
these
to live
checks
in
are so
security,
thick that they're
dignity, and
paying these
peace.
people to sit up here.
If the Democrat Party wants to stand with anarchists, agitators, rioters, looters, and flag burners, that is up to them. But
This
I, as
is
your
the
president,
example, folks, of how
not
you
be
don't
part.
unite your country
The
in this moment.
Republican
This
Party
is an
will
example
remain the
of how
voice
you
of
keep
the
this stuff going.
patriotic
This
heroes
is an
who
example of
keep
how you keep
America safe
anarchists and
and
looters
salute
looting.
the American flag.
You know why the anarchists and looters are looting? Whatever he wants
Because
to call
they're
them.
not heard clearly. If you're still calling all protesters rioters and anarchists, this is why you get this kind of result, because you don't know how to unite the country.
Yeah, you already
Last
called them
year, over
rioters. Why
1,000
wouldn't they destroy everything?
African-Americans were
Right.
murdered as a
Why
result
wouldn't?
of
If
violent
that's what
crime
if that's what you
in
hear, that's what you hear.
Democrat-run cities.
And that remark
You
about
run the
Democratic
country,
run.
bro.
Yeah,
You
I know.
run the country
Most
like you are the
dangerous cities in
president.
the country
You are the president
are
right
run
now.
by
Like this is
Democrats
your
and
like
have been for
everything
many
that's going on is your responsibility.
Thousands more
So
African-Americans are
what Joe
victims
Biden is not. How can Joe
victims
Biden run a country that's
of violent
like that's what I've been trying to
crime
figure out.
in these
Like
communities.
this dude act like he not
Joe
the
Biden
president of the
has
United
left
States of
nor
America
these
right now.
American
I know.
victims.
Excuse me.
I never will. If the
Is
radical
Joe-
left takes power, they will apply their disastrous policies to every city, town, and suburb in America. Just imagine if the so-called peaceful demonstrators in the streets were in charge of every
Dog
lever
whistle
of
politics.
power in the U.S. government. Just think of that.
Just
think of
imagine
that.
if black people
Liberal
were in power.
politicians claim to be
Yeah.
We've been
just
trying for
imagine.
100 years, you know. Just imagine. Just imagine.
Who exactly
God.
is attacking them?
This
Who is
Democratic
hiring the
run
radical professors,
cities garbage is
judges,
something I want
and
to talk about, because
prosecutors?
the reason
is
that
trying
that
to
happens
abolish
is because
immigration
by a
enforcement
31-point margin,
establish
Democratic voters
speech
live in large
codes
urban areas.
designed to muzzle
By a
dissent.
16-point margin,
In
white
every case,
people,
the attacks
Republicans,
on
tend to live in
American
smaller,
institutions
more
are
white,
being
rural
waged by
communities.
radical left.
Suburbs. They're
Always
taking our
remember,
suburbs.
They're coming after me.
So when you look at big cities full of
because I
people
am
that are
fighting for
angry,
you. That's what's
it's not because
happening.
it's run by a Democrat. It's because Democrats live in a group.
Bro,
It's been going on from before I even got elected.
God, Karen. Oh,
And remember
almost
this,
said
they spied on my campaign and they got caught. Let's see now what happens.
they spied on
We
him.
must
That's not
reclaim
true. Those are not facts.
Independence from the left's
And what would it
Repressive
matter?
mandates.
What would they find?
Americans
like,
are
right.
exhausted
Run them
trying to
tax
keep
returns,
up
Trump.
with the
Give us them
latest
tax
list
returns.
of approved words and phrases and the ever more restrictive political decrees. Many things have a different name now, and the rules are constantly changing.
He's going off
The
book.
goal of cancel culture is to make decent Americans live in fear of being fired, expelled, shamed, humiliated, and driven from society as we know it.
He's got
The
that
far
lean.
left wants to coerce you into saying what you know to be false and
Black
scare
Lives
you
Matter,
out
Black
of
Lives
saying
Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives
what
Matter,
you know to be true.
Black Lives Matter.
Very sad. But on November 3rd, you can send them a very thundering message they will never forget.
What
Send them a
chance is that?
thundering message that they ain't never gonna forget.
Thundering message.
Yeah, why don't you all just stand real close together? That'll be a thundering message. I'll
Yeah.
clap my hand in 2 weeks when all y'all have coronavirus.
Right. Maybe we won't have to deal with this anyways, because he is like 70.
I would reconsider my religious beliefs.
You such a fool.
I would give it another run.
Biden is weak.
Oh,
He
Joe
takes
Biden's
his
weak.
marching orders from liberal hypocrites who drive
You're
their
also
cities
talking
into
about
ground
the
while
leader of the free
staying
world
far
that
from
won't
the
confront
scene of
Russia
the wreck.
about arranging to have Americans
These
killed.
same
But Joe
liberals
Biden's
want
weak
to
though.
eliminate school
I don't know much
choice.
about, but I don't know much about Joe Biden. But I know that you still ain't confronted Putin.
They want to open our borders while living in Waldorf compounds.
Hey, get off
and
if you want to. I don't
communities
care. Look on,
in the
get
best
off. It don't
neighborhoods
matter.
in the world.
The best
They want
neighborhoods
to
in the
defund the
world.
police while they have armed guards for themselves.
Ooh,
This
where?
November, we must turn the page.
Can we talk about
forever
Kyle
on this
tonight?
failed political class.
All right.
The fact is, I'm here.
Now you're here. I mean,
What's the name of that building?
He forgot.
he forgot that he
He
was
just want a
there.
refresher.
Yeah.
But I'll say it differently. The fact is, we're here and they're not.
Is that a White House? We're here and they're not. Is that
We're
that
here,
was?
dog whistle politics. We're
Any
here
one of the
and
most
they're not.
beautiful buildings anywhere in the world.
What's
that is
the
not a
name of
building,
that
it's a home,
place?
as far as I'm concerned.
I'll say it like this: We're here and they're not.
It's a home.
Yo,
Wonderful
it's a home.
place.
Your wife
Incredible
don't
house.
sleep there, girl.
But it's all because of you. Together, we will write the next chapter of the great American story. Over the next 4 years, we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world.
Oh,
What happened in the last 4
We will
years?
What happened
expand
in the last 4
opportunity
years?
zones. Thank you.
Where you been, Donnie? Where you been?
Bring
You been
home.
golfing.
he been
Our
drifting
medical
on. He been
supply
drifting on a
chain.
memory.
And we will end our resilience.
My.
Bad things. We will go right after China. We will not rely on them one bit. We're taking our business out of China. We are bringing it home. We want our business.
No,
to
you
come
won't. You
home.
have to pay
We will
workers here.
continue to
That's
reduce
why you won't.
taxes and regulations at levels not
You measure
seen
success
before.
by
We will
inflation,
create
and
10
all
million
companies
jobs
lose.
in the next 10 months. And it'll be higher than that. We will hire more police, increase penalties for assaults on law enforcement, and surge federal prosecutors into high crime communities. We will ban deadly sanctuary cities and ensure that federal health care is protected for American citizens, not for illegal aliens. We
This
will
dude
have
talking about
strong
ET.
borders. And I've said for years,
Yeah, I
without
don't know what an
borders,
illegal alien is, but
don't have a
I
country.
don't think he meant that one.
Strike down terrorists who threaten our people, and keep America out of endless and costly foreign wars. We will appoint prosecutors, judges, justices who believe in enforcing the law, not enforcing their own political agenda, which is illegal.
Does that say Secret Service?
Your Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms.
You know what it takes, dude? You know what it takes to repeal an amendment like that? It's like 75% of the states. It's not
Yeah.
going to happen, you idiots.
But oh, do you see her? They wanted to make sure they got a camera on her. Like she like
And
the
if we
most
don't
beautiful
do
girl
the
in the
Second
world. Just what's her name again?
Have a chance, I can
Um,
tell you. I have totally protected it.
Is that DJ from
We will protect
Boy Meets World?
Medicare and Social Security.
They had
We will
They had
always and
Topanga?
very strongly
That looked
protect
like that was
patients with
Topanga. Roll the tape
pre-existing
back.
conditions. And that is a pledge from the
I'm
entire
gonna watch the stream.
Republican
Yeah,
Party.
let's watch it afterwards.
Thank you, Kevin. We will end surprise medical billing, require price
Melania has on
transparency,
Black News
and
Tonight
further
colors
reduce
tonight.
the cost of prescription drugs and health insurance
Just saying.
I
premiums.
sent them out. I sent them out to her with a little email.
We will greatly
Yeah.
expand.
We've been tweeting
energy
back and
development,
forth. She invited me to the
continuing
hotel.
to
Hey,
remain the
First
number
Lady.
one
Hey,
in the
girl.
world and keep America energy independent.
I think he meant to say American Energy Independent, but he said America Energy Independent.
And for those of you that still drive a car, look how low your gasoline bill
What?
is. You haven't seen that in a long time.
For those of you who still drive a car, for those of you that got a limousine
And
that
build the
drives you
world's
everywhere
best
you need to
cyber
go,
and missile defense already under
this one,
What?
give me a break.
restore patriotic education to our schools and always protect. We will always protect free speech on college campuses.
But not with the press. Not free speech with the press, though. That's fake news.
Wow.
And we put a very big penalty in. They do anything having to do with your free speech, colleges have to pay a tremendous financial penalty. And again, it's amazing how open they've been lately. We will launch a new age of American ambition in space. America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to plant its beautiful flag on Mars.
What?
This is
Oh,
the
yeah.
unifying national
Yeah, that's
agenda
true. That's actually
that
true.
will bring our country together. So tonight I say to all Americans, this is the most important election in the history of our country.
Oh, is it?
There has never
It
been
sure
such a difference
is.
between two parties or two individuals in ideology, philosophy, or vision than there is right now. Our opponents believe that America is a depraved nation. We want our sons and daughters to know the truth. America is the greatest and most exceptional nation in the history of the world.
God. I
Our
mean,
country was
brother.
built by cancel culture,
I think they're taking
Speech
care of our
about-
problem for me.
soul-crushing conformity. We are not a nation of timid spirits. We are a nation of fierce, proud, and independent American patriots. We're a nation of pilgrims, pioneers, adventurers, explorers, and trailblazers who refuse to be tied down, held back, or in any way reined in. Americans have steel in their spines, grit in their souls, and fire in their hearts. There is no one like us on earth.
Yeah.
I want every child in America to know that you are part of the most exciting and incredible adventure in human history. No matter where your family comes from, no matter your background in America, anyone can rise. With hard work, devotion, and drive, you can reach any goal and achieve every ambition. Our American ancestors sailed across the perilous ocean to build a new life on a new continent. They braved the freezing winters, crossed the raging rivers, scaled the rocky peaks, trekked the dangerous forests, and worked from dawn till dusk. These pioneers didn't have money, they didn't have fame, but they had each other. They loved their families, they loved their country, and they loved their God. When opportunity beckoned, they picked up their Bibles, packed up their belongings, climbed into their covered wagons, and set out west for the next adventure. Ranchers and miners, cowboys and sheriffs, farmers and settlers, they pressed on past the Mississippi to stake a claim in the wild frontier. Legends were born. Wyatt Earp, Annie Oakley, Davy Crockett, and Buffalo Bill. Americans built their beautiful homesteads on the open range. Soon they had churches and communities, then towns, and with time, great centers of industry and commerce. That is who they were. Americans build their future. We don't tear down our past. We are the nation that won a revolution, toppled tyranny and fascism,
The problem with not revisiting the past is you start
We
sounding
laid down the
stupid like
railroads,
that.
Bingo.
built the great ships, raised up the skyscrapers, revolutionized industry, and sparked a
Built
new
them on the
age
back of
scientific
slaves.
Yep.
discovery.
Don't change it. Just tell the whole story.
Trends in art and
Don't
music,
change your past.
radio and
Whitewash.
Honor
film,
it.
sport
Honor
and
the whole
literature.
story.
And we did it all with style and confidence
We
and
did
flair,
it all with slaves.
because that is who we are.
Yeah,
Whenever
the
our
country
way of
built
life
on the backs of slaves. That's
Is
who
this
we
dude
are.
for real?
was answered the call.
Yeah, this stuff is for real. I can't believe this man is talking this bull.
From Normandy to Iwo Jima, American patriots
What is emo-
raced into cannon blasts, bullets, and bayonets to rescue American liberty. They had no fear, but America didn't stop there. We looked into the sky and kept pressing onward. We built a 6 million pound rocket and launched it thousands of miles into space. We did it so that two brave patriots could stand tall and salute our wondrous American flag planted on the face of the moon. For America, nothing is impossible. Over the next 4 years, we will prove worthy of this magnificent legacy. We will reach stunning new heights.
You've been
We'll
you've
show that the world,
been here 4 years already.
America,
I think it's worthy
is a
enough.
dream, and it is not beyond your reach. Together we are unstoppable. Together we are unbeatable, because together we are the proud
Rigging the
citizens
election.
of the United States of America.
Because together we are rigging the election.
And on November 3rd, we will make America safer. We will make America stronger. We will make America prouder. And we will make America greater than ever before. I am very, very proud to be the nominee of the Republican Party. I love you all. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
They took a wide shot so you don't have to watch him waddle off stage.
Wow. What a great view. I mean, that was just awesome.
It was
I think
something.
the fireworks was probably the best of the whole night right there. The fireworks is great now.
How much of our COVID relief fund do you think that all those fireworks could have given us? Any idea how much that cost at all?
You ignorant. You ignorant.
That's what I'm saying right now.
Well, you know that the fireworks came from
China. They keep it. You can say it.
China. Oh, that choir is saying it off.
It's actually not bad.
Well, I can't hear it through the fireworks. Well,
That looks like some expensive fireworks.
expensive.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome for my money.
Them arm and the leg fireworks right there. I mean, they beautiful. Glorious. I mean, it's pretty bad. It's some nice fireworks.
What are we listening to?
Somebody
Oh, okay, I
read.
got it. Yeah, I
It's
got it.
not Hallelujah though.
Huh. Well, somebody must have redid it.
Oh. Okay. Good night, Danger. We can turn that off.
Did you see? Yeah, make that go away. Just make that. Oh man, that's much
Man.
better.
You gonna is that your world today?
Huh? What's that?
Is that your world today? The talking circle.
Talking circle. I know you can look at my ugly face if you want.
Oh my God. Yo.
That was something.
That was American carnage. Jesus.
Oh boy. So, what do you want to touch on?
None of that. And that's exactly why I was on Facebook like, can I please get one of my Republican friends to come and talk on behalf of the RNC? That's exactly why we didn't do the coverage of the RNC. Because, I mean, I don't want to sit up here and just bash the people like I did the you know, it ain't gonna look at it.
Right.
I don't want to touch on none of that. Like, let's just be real. What is there to touch on? Besides the fact that my lazy eye just can't even stay straight for the shooting, like, hold on. I should have did this earlier, but this was not a planned shoot, so it was just like, hey, let's go do some shooting. But
Did you see this guy? This guy right here?
yes, he was like, go back. But did you see his face though?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Like his face was like, yeah.
And then
back.
Bulls.
Space Force.
Oh,
I mean, do you see that eye?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start giving that crazy eye on camera all the time. Like, I bet you we gonna get famous quick.
Love it. Love it.
I'm telling you.
The comment of the night goes to Jacques, though. I gotta tell you, that was 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Oh.
Is Jock still here? Tell us if you in the building, Jock, because I know we got some YouTube people viewing, but like, is you still here? Because
that was the greatest.
Because I'm like, listen, look.
Can I show it again? I'm gonna show it again.
Yeah, show it again. Do what you do. Oh snap, Jock, your comment broke my arm. By lighting.
Did you break it?
No, not really.
Yikes.
Well, I mean, at this point, I'm as chocolate as can be.
I look like tapioca.
No, you do not look like tapioca. You would have to get darker to be tapioca, to be quite frank.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I'm much more yellow in person.
Yeah.
My Hungarian skin.
Can we?
It's the white. It's the white of the monitor.
Can we
that
say
makes you
hey?
watch.
Can we say hey YouTube? Because YouTube is definitely in the building tonight. Like that's
YouTube hopping.
Hey YouTube, say hi to us. Tell us where you're viewing from. But like for real though, like let's just be honest.
Talk to us. We're
dude,
sitting here for you.
This dude did not even address anything that has to do with our Marxist group. I guess I'm just gonna have to be calling myself a rioter now. Like, you know, that's just the way it works. Because it's hard to tell the rest of the country that we're not rioters and we're peaceful protesters, when the literal president of the United States just literally said, as they call themselves, peaceful protesters. He's not a racist. I thought you was gonna be looking for some fact checking.
Yeah.
I might have just broke that.
I don't even remember what he said that made me be like, Ended the unfair and very costly Paris Climate Accord. It's not unfair, and it's not it. Well, it might be costly to oil barons, but the climate accord was to make sure that we all survive. So, you know.
I mean, why are we arguing that? Some of the stuff that, like, I'm sorry. Let me grab.
I was like, he'll come back. He'll come back.
Because I know Danger was looking at me like, huh?
I was just waiting.
Look, toast it.
Clink.
Cheers.
I covered mine up. Again.
Look.
Oh shit.
No, this is that kind of night. Like, you just got to go right into it. Like,
just lean in. So,
I'm having
what
communion
was it he said?
for
Do
my
you remember?
evangelicals.
Oh, man.
Because, like, first of all, thou shalt not lie. Okay? Let's talk about them 10 commandments today.
That's a big one. That's a big one for old Don.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not kill. Y'all see that eye? That's that lie detector eye. So if you ever see me watching the video and my eye go to the right for real like that,
That's how you know.
y'all know somebody lying. If you see that eye, just see, Black News Tonight is all about embracing the love of yourself. Like, you can't just, like, I can't control it right now at this point. Like, just like I could control the last hour of my life, and I said I wasn't doing no DNC coverage. See, this is what happened. This is what happened was, Danger. This is what happened. Like, I'm watching that video of a protest. Mondo had a, you know what? I'm going to get a wine glass and say Black News Tonight instead.
I like that.
Because, like, you know, maybe that'd be cool. You know, because, I mean, I'm not going to drink. It ain't like I'm about to drink out of a coffee mug. Because I don't drink coffee. Actually,
I could put a lot of good things in a coffee mug.
He ain't lying, because my eye even is controlled when I look at them.
Ooh, baby.
I wanted to tell him so bad, go to bed, Joseph. Like, go to bed. Like,
I want to give him props for staying. He stayed on prompt.
Oh, no, he gave a presidential speech. Like, we're not going to take that away from him.
No, he read the prompter. He didn't wander, like, because he's a wanderer. That dude's a wanderer. And when he starts wandering, that lie detector eye over here starts going,
Like, for real though, like, bruh. Look, I ain't making fun of nobody. I got a lazy eye, so I'm going to use it to its advantage.
It's all good.
Because what was you doing?
I don't know, man.
He gave a presidential speech, though. That's what y'all want to hear is presidential speeches, so. He gave a better speech than Joe Biden. If we're talking about rallying bases.
That's a fair point.
I mean, but let's talk about the big Can you please get me just a picture of the crowd tonight? Like, can you take a screenshot or something?
Yeah, let me find it.
Okay, or you could post the video up there and we could pause it. It's up to you, but I would rather just have a picture.
Oh man, we missed Rudy Giuliani talk.
Yeah,
That must have been a riot.
That was a riot. Speaking of riots, did you see how many? I mean, I know they're gonna be so mad, but like, I know coronavirus went up 10 points in DC today. 10 points, like at least it did, because y'all had a whole unmasked, shoulder to shoulder event. Like, what would you say? There was 100 people there.
I'm trying to find the shot from behind because there's one shot that's from behind him, and it just goes out. And I'm just looking.
And it was so many people. Like, I was shocked. But he like attendance, so he probably was like, "Hey, my date's gonna have people. I'm not playing." Old Danger,
Huh?
you missing that eye?
All right, here's.
We got to get off this. Please just put the picture up there. My. So unless this is like an old picture or something of that nature, but
This is the shot from the live thing we just watched.
okay. Yeah, no, this is Fox News. I was trying to just preface it on in.
Oh, I got you.
Y'all don't see that, but I forgot.
Look at that. Look at that. That's the one I wanted. That's the one I wanted.
Dude. Maybe that's just all the White House staff. And maybe they've been tested, and maybe they had a thermometer, and maybe it just doesn't matter anymore.
You had that, but that's none of my business going there.
It even comes on when I tell a lie. Look at that.
Oh man.
I don't know. Look, I'm not. I mean, ain't nothing to talk about with that. We'll be on tomorrow night at 10 o'clock for our normally scheduled programming and some announcements. Jeff Bull's going to be on tonight. Did you just put that back up there?
It slipped.
I can't even say that anymore.
No, right? All right.
Listen, folks, thank you so much for viewing. This was just, view us tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Doing an update on Kenosha, doing an update on the RNC. We're going to do some quick coverage news cycle. And then we're going to make a big announcement, me and Danger are. And that'll be all, y'all. Have a good night. And thank you so much for watching Black News Tonight.
Thanks for watching Black News Tonight.
Thank you for watching Black News Tonight. Black News Tonight. Black News Tonight.
Black News Tonight.